Ben, I'm going to throw it over to you at Red Hat. I think about Red Hat and I say, wait a minute, these are the folks that gave us all this great technology to get us into the cloud, make sure things run smooth, containers, etc. Tell us about what you're doing, which is way more than the Red Hat we knew from years ago.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'd say the first thing that we all should probably identify is that a lot of the AI development is happening in the open source communities around the world. So, Red Hat's one of the largest open source companies in the world. And so we're as involved as you might imagine in the development of models, platform, and additional capabilities for monitoring and scaling and all the things you need to make any type of software work, whether it's AI or not. My personal favorite story in this is what's going on within the VA. They created an AI incubator called Arches, which is specifically designed to allow for extramural research to happen against synthetic patient data. And we're a deep part of the technology that enables that. And then just this past year, Mission Daybreak was an effort within the VA, a $20 million effort to reduce veteran suicide. And Red Hat and our partners was one of the winners of that competition. And in that state, we built actual AI models that produced a risk score for a patient for suicide ideation, and then serving that risk score directly into an electronic health record so that a clinician could consume that. And that's really point inference work. In addition to that, we also did population health analytics. So we're able to look at the distribution of veterans across the country, compare them against the programs that are in place for depression and suicide and other behavioral health issues, and then produce an additional score for those programs so that the VA can make informed decisions on investment and divestment in any one of the programs based on the geography of the veteran population. With all that, I think it's all dependent right now on cloud services. And I'm glad you brought that up, because it's actually sort of the future of AI is less about cloud, and it's actually more about distributed computing. So what we're starting to see is models getting served to as close to the data as possible. And the vast majority of the data that we're all seeing getting collected is being done by sensors that are at the edge. Mm-hmm. And by moving these models closer to it, we're reducing latency in inference work and also creating faster decisions for action from any one of the actors that need to have those quick decision-making activities. So, a good example would be DoD. You have a patient who's in theater who is injured. You need the inference work to happen right there in theater. You don't need a cloud service to respond because you're probably a disconnected environment anyways. And so what we're starting to see is a lot of the training and upfront development happening in the cloud, but then a lot of the deployment actually happening at the edge. It's a really exciting activity.